Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Grimworks Comic Corner. You're asking, what is Grimworks Comic Corner? Well, it's a little bit of everything that has to do with comics.
Yeah.
We talk about the floppies we picked up this week.
Mm-hmm.
We try to sell you a trade back that we think you should read.
Yes.
And then at the end of the stuff, we bring you tomorrow's comics.
Mm-hmm.
For all of you that actually go buy the weekly stuff.
Yeah.
Well, let's start. This week was a heavy week for comics.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff. I mean, there's been weeks where we're like hoping for like 2 good comics.
Yeah. Last week was the actual one where we didn't have any comics really. It was like 3 or 4 that we maybe reviewed.
Yeah, it was hard to pick of the week. Shit,
Yeah.
I didn't even pick up a week. I was like, it's whatever.
Yeah, and then every time there's like a 5th week in comics, it's always kind of a toss-up. You can get a lot of shitty or a lot of good. So.
But this week, fuck, I know he was like, which one should be my pick of the week?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this week was but my pick of the week was just like straight on. Once I finished reading, I was like, yep, this is. I want more of that.
Yeah, I will get to it. It's the last
we'll go
comic.
to it. But what we're gonna do is, since there was a lot of good stuff, and we have like a little select this time, we're gonna just give you quick bullet points. They're great comics with great stories that you think you should read, but we don't want to go into too much detail of it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with
Hellboy and BBRD 1955 Occult Intelligence. It's written by Mike Mignola and Chris Robertson, and it's drawn by Brian Sharilla.
Yeah, great story. It's just Hellboy in 1955.
So young Hellboy.
Yeah, at the end, the monster is gonna get you. It's great.
Yeah.
So next up is
Runaways #1. It's written by Rainbow Rowell and drawn by Chris Anka.
this art I didn't really like too much. I was kind of lost in the story, but it kind of wrapped itself around to be a good comic.
Yeah.
I don't know how you explain it. It's like confusing and stuff. But yeah.
Well, the Runaways, these are the sons and daughters of supervillains. They inherit their powers and they run away. That's pretty much it. That's all you need to know. There's a little bit of a backstory, but they'll take care of it in the actual comic. Just read it.
Yeah, plus this issue, one of the Runaways. Runaways always have been a good little series.
Yeah.
And then we're coming to the last of the quick bullet ones.
That's right, and that's Flash #30. It's written by Joshua Williamson and drawn by Neil Goog. The reason, usually Flash is one that we actually review a lot of times. It just wasn't as strong as the other comics that we have.
Yeah, it kind of wraps up the stuff before this arc and introduces a new villain, but it wasn't a villain that we're like, oh man, I can't believe these exist.
Yeah.
But
it's a brand new villain that you never knew. It's just...
it's a good story.
Yeah.
But like I said, really good, strong week, so there was stuff that had a stronger story.
Yes.
Good, but not good enough to come to full detail of what we do. But we're going to get straight to the stuff that we are going to bring in detail to, and that's going to be a tie-in, actually.
Yes, we're going to talk about the main series in just a bit. But first up is Teen Titans #12. It's written by Benjamin Percy and actually drawn by one of our favorites. It's that Stefan Sajak, the guy that did the artwork for Aquaman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I kind of come together.
Yeah.
I'm really bad with names.
Yeah.
I kind of get stuff familiarized with the art style. I was like, this seems familiar. Kind of got put together now.
Yeah. What can I say? Okay, this is a tie-in. Tie-ins are not essential to what goes on in the main storyline. This is a tie-in for the Dark Knight's Metal, written by Scott Snyder, but this is actually better than I expected. I went in kind of going like, it's going to be a Teen Titans, it's going to involve Robin, okay, that's fine. How are they going to tie it into Metal? And they do a really good job because you have to read Metal right before this one.
You do. And I like the way the art, the way they made the villain. Because if you guys are reading Metal, think Heavy Rock meets DC's heroes and villains.
Yeah.
And the way they drew, no spoilers, but the main dude, because it's in the title, it's the Riddler. The way they did his makeup, I was fucking, he looks hardcore. I was like, fuck, that would haunt my nightmares.
He just looks like a goth dude.
It's a bowler hat and like the dark crow eyes. I like it. I'm a big heavy metal dude, and I like it. Whatever. I like bowler hats, and I used to be a goth in high school. I had the whole spikes and a little bit of eyeshadow on. Anyways.
I was emo and I don't like that. So that doesn't matter. The thing is...
story-wise, it's good. They pick Riddler to fuck over the Teen Titans.
Basically what you're going to get is a Batman story mixed with, Dante's Inferno. Yep. There's 7 rings, and it's just really cool. Don't want to give too much away. One of the main villain is on the cover, and he is introduced in metal. So I will just suggest just read it. I don't want to give too much away. It's
not too much, but it's good. It's a good read.
Yeah, surprisingly, because a lot of tie-ins suck. I'll be the first one to admit I don't like tie-ins, but this one's good.
The one thing I would tell you, I like how Robin goes, you know what? Fuck the Teen Titans. Batman needs me. And he's like, because usually when I think of Damon, he's like, I don't like Bruce Wayne. Fuck my father. I could be better than him. That's at least how I don't really fucking read.
Then you're not reading it correctly.
Yeah, but anyways, that's what I'm getting, right? And this one, like Batman, I guess, throws all. He's like, oh, we need you, and he's like. It was because he's been dealing with Aqua, I forgot his name, Aqualad, right? And he's like, nah, you have to put all your shit aside, you have to put your shit and go help Batman in Gotham. Which, really good stuff.
Yeah.
It's good, guys.
Let's read it.
Tie-ins are like one-shots and it's a great story. It has a beginning and end. Bam.
Actually, I think this one might continue in.
Oh, they were done with the Riddler. They're introducing someone else at
exactly.
The next one.
The next one is
the next issue looks good too.
Yeah, it's gonna be Nightwing 29, I believe. But next up on the docket, we have Dark Knight's Metal #2, written by Scott Snyder and drawn by Greg Capullo.
This was really good. I thought this was gonna be your pick of the week.
Yeah.
I thought, oh man, when I was reading, I was like, this has Roman written all over.
Oh, it does. It's completely my story.
The art is great. Oh my god, that one moment you hope it's gonna be a poster. I was like, yes, give me more of that art. But as we were picking up comics and we select who's gonna read what, and then we switch off. Yep. I open the pages. I go, here, Roman. He goes, what, too wordy? It's like, too goddamn wordy.
Yeah. But here's the thing. He said it was wordy. And then maybe a minute later, maybe like a quarter of the way through the book, he's laughing his ass off.
They gave me really good panels with art. I was like, oh shit.
Exactly. Yeah. You talk shit, but you know, you're always going to love it.
There was this, okay, so I'm going to say kind of spoilers. It's hard to say with spoilers because, you know, we're going to give you spoilers.
No spoilers.
Yeah. Little spoiler. I just want that panel's fucking amazing. Spoilers 3, 2, 1. Alright, so there's a whole bunch of Batman. Superman and Wonder Woman, or the Justice League, is hunting down Batman. Because if you guys read Metal #1, he stole something. And they're trying to get it back. So what Batman does is like old school action-y movie where they make a whole bunch of people look the same so they can never find the real one. Yeah. So in this one scene, Superman thinks he caught the real Bruce Wayne, and they're having a conversation. Wonder Woman's like, he's lying, and he straight pops him through the heart. Like he has Batman bloodied. I was like, oh my god, that fucking panel's badass. Turns out it wasn't the Bruce Wayne, but
it's always
you guys gotta read who it was. But that moment where he has Batman, like his hands through his chest, it's all bloody. I fell in love with that fucking art. I was like, give me that as a poster. I'll blast it all over these walls.
Not time to be a poster at all.
I know, because you can. Yeah, well, I can make a print of it.
You can try.
I can try.
But if they find out, they might sue you.
Copyright, yeah.
And since we're doing this on YouTube, they don't take kindly to copyright infringement.
Well, DC doesn't take kindly to copyright.
No company takes kindly to copyright infringement.
So I guess stealing is bad?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, this one is really cool. The moment he said is... I have my problems with it, but that's neither here nor there. What is really cool is the fact that it is... You're kind of thrown in the middle of the action with what he talks about, and then it kind of slows down into something that's just... The reason I like this so much is because it relies really heavily on Grant Morrison's run of Batman, where it's the return of Batman, or the death of Batman and the return of Batman through the Final Crisis stuff.
That's after he gets hit by the Omega Beam. You guys don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. The Omega Beam kind of kills Batman, but it doesn't kill Batman. It kind of just throws him back in time.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that was weird.
The whole thing is like he creates like a portal through all these different dimensions that he falls through, like all these different moments in time.
Yeah, because there is like a pirate Batman. That's my favorite.
That was the stupidest one. But it was bad. If you actually read that comic, that was the worst one.
The pirates are cool.
That one was the worst one, and the Noir one were terrible.
Yeah, no.
They were both.
Would you think that Batman Noir would be like really strong, right?
It's not. It was just the way it was just the way that he wrote it. It was weird.
But you have to know this stuff.
Yeah, but when it comes to this, basically there is something like an entity, a dark entity called Barbados, I believe is what it's called.
He's the Bat God.
He's the Bat God. So this happened during that whole run that we were just talking about, and it's just bringing it in, and it is like one of the comics that I truly love. The thing is, you're going to see when we get to my pick of the week why I picked that one over this one. This one's really good, super good action. It's like a big budget blockbuster movie on the page.
I don't know if it's spoilers, but I'm going to give you two things.
3, 2, 1.
The villains team up with heroes, which you never thought it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Give me one of those weird villains. You know, I don't want to give off the name, but it's one of those and be like, oh, okay, makes sense. And then the best thing that came out of this comic, Baby Darkseid. Baby Darkseid. Baby Darkseid looks so fucking cute. I was like, oh man.
Yeah. He has like the Mr. Freeze goggles, basically.
Yeah. It just looks like a fucking kid with like concrete face. Yeah. This is fucking cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. Good story though.
Yes.
Kind of want to pick up the next one because they introduce the true villains at the end of the comic.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking up the rest of
this has Roman written all over him.
Makes my wiener hard.
Yeah.
But next up we have Action Comics 987, written by Dan Jurgens and drawn by Viktor Bogdanovic.
Yeah, so when I visit the comic shops and I try to read some of the forums, this was blasted everywhere. Who is Oz and what is Oz and oh my god, did you see who Oz was? And it's like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Yes, it is. It starts kind of like the beginning couple pages. You kind of, it's hard to read. You're like, okay, get to it. Wordy. It has no action. It's just like
honestly, people, it's not wordy. It's a normal comic book.
It's wordy.
It just doesn't have action panels. That's all. It
doesn't have anything. It's just Clark going, okay, this is life.
Yeah. Which is almost any other comic book. The next comic that we talk about is literally that.
The next comic we're talking about, I'm gonna explain why it's good.
It is good.
Always gonna be my pick of the week, but this one's good. It's good.
Yeah.
All right, so you have. What they did is all the crap that's going on in our world right now, like the fucking chaos and all these dumb people doing dumb people to other people. And
humanity being shitbags.
Yes. So Oz is a villain that goes, you know what? Superman can't save them all.
Yeah.
And he does. Oh man, there's like I said, fucking a couple panels in, you have Superman almost saving people, but he takes them away.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't save them. Then he's like, okay, but I'm gonna save the next one. He's like, fuck, couldn't save them either. And you're like, oh my god, give me more of that. Keep fucking with Superman. Fuck him up.
Yeah. And the whole thing with Oz is that apparently he's been in the run since the beginning of Dan Jurgens' run on Action Comics.
Yeah, they kind of introduced him, but he's a hooded character.
Yeah, he's a hooded character. You barely see his face. And here you barely see his face, but you're still kind of like, I don't know what's going on. He is talking in a very particular way, not necessarily like more of a third-person view on everything, like kind of omnipotent. And
like a Watcher style.
Yeah, and honestly, the last picture got me going. Like I was like, "What the fuck is like? Why are they doing
the last
this?
Two pages are gonna be like, huh?
Yeah, it's literally a what the fuck moment.
You guys are gonna be surprised who Oz is. We're not gonna give it away.
No,
you should pick it up just on that alone.
Yes,
you're gonna love who Oz is, and next issue is a must get and a must read.
Yes, for sure.
All right, on to the next one.
All right, next one is Mr. Miracle #2, written by Tom King and art by Mitch Gerads.
All right, so this one, not a lot of action.
No
the art.
Well,
yeah, the art's alright.
It's action, but it's stilted action.
Yeah, the art is that weird Mr. Miracle art, but I'm getting used to it. Yeah, I mean, you're getting used to that whole rainbowy, wavy, 3D glasses stuff.
Yeah.
But this was gonna be my pick of the week, but it wasn't because my pick of the week was way better. But I like this because we've been reading all this new God stuff, And you've been seeing Orion in different forms.
Yes.
Like in the Hal Jordan stuff, he was like, you know what, just let me die for the better good. And then the other ones, you're like, he's a strong, like his one shot, he was like, I'm a strong leader. I could overcome the dark side in me and shit like that. So something happens where Highfather is not in power no more. So he takes over the throne.
Yes.
And his, what I call his true color starts showing.
Yeah.
And Mr. Miracle is like, man, this is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
This is bullshit because Mr. Miracle lived in Apocalypse.
Who, Mr. Miracle? Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in Apocalypse.
Mr. Miracle and Big Barda,
right. So there's secret spies for Highfather, and he gets caught up, and it just shows you their commute and their, like, I like that part where they're like, I don't even know how to operate the showers, and like dirty and mine not dirty. They're like so exhausted, and they've been getting, Orion keeps sending them through mission, like nonstop. Yeah. And then it comes to my favorite panel at the end, because Orion's like, you're my brother, we're equals and shit. Yeah. But he has taken control of the throne. Oh, is this spoilers? Fuck, so many spoilers in this episode. Sorry. He makes him kneel. Yeah. He's like, I'm New Highfather. Yeah. Kneel. I was like, man, fuck, I wouldn't. You're my brother. I'm gonna kneel you for you. Would you kneel for your brother? Fuck no, I wouldn't kneel for any of my brothers. Even if they were like really. So fucking high-powered anything. Like, say even my brother marries a queen or becomes a king, I was like, fuck you, bitch.
I wouldn't care. No. I probably just wouldn't even show up, to be honest with you.
I would show up.
If it's my brother. No. Who gives a fuck?
Anyways, good comment, guys.
Yeah, the whole thing is, it sort of picks up where it left off. Yeah, spoilers, that's revealed kind of in the first one. Highfather's dead. Like, he's dead somehow. And that's why Orion takes over the throne. So
they think he's dead.
He's pretty much dead. I think
I thought in this one they read out the plan that he's running.
No.
In this one he's dead.
In this one he's dead. Yeah, where you're getting too complicated.
Yeah, I read them kind of fast.
Because here's the thing, Mr. Miracle is not in current continuity. Like, it doesn't have anything at all to do with what is going on. I was
telling you that this is foretelling whatever the other stuff is. Yeah, I remember.
So here's the thing. In this one, Highfather's dead. Orion takes over. Mr. Miracle and Big Barda are pretty much like the first line and kind of the scouts that they go and do whatever they need to do. They reveal that they have to kill Granny Goodness. I mean, if you know the New Gods, Granny Goodness, they're saying that you basically have to kill her. Like, Orion says you have to kill her.
Yeah, but the thing is, Granny's the one that kind of raised them.
Yeah, and it's kind of like one of those tough love situations. And they have a really cool thing, like a cool moment in here. Before they go, Big Barda and Mr. Miracle, and they're like, open a boom tube to Apocalypse. And he's saying, like, did you ever like Granny? And she says, like, oh, I don't know, she did blah blah blah. And he's like,
she's like, she did this and this.
Yeah, well he says, like, well, I remember this and this, and it's kind of integral to like what's going on. Yeah. But then there's like other scenes that seem out of place, but not really, because it's Apocalypse and it's kind of fucked up. There is extreme violence in this one.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
I loved it.
There's a panel in there that is pretty gruesome in terms of like what they're letting them get away with. DC, honestly, like, this could be a Vertigo title.
Oh, how dark
yeah,
it is? Yeah,
they're letting him do whatever the fuck he wants with with DC, which is really weird, but cool. I like it.
I like when you don't put any red tape for artists and storytellers to tell their stories, because they get across their whole vision a lot better.
Yeah, as long as they're like keeping true to like the character
and shit like Apocalypse and shit like the Orion's planet.
Oh, New Genesis. You have heaven and hell supposedly, so you kind of want to see that gruesome stuff in Apocalypse.
You want to see all that darkness.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why the colors, they're so red and orange, and they make you feel like scenes out of anything you've seen hell in.
Yeah.
And it's really good. And then you have a question, it's like, oh, she raised me, but can I kill her?
Yeah.
And I was like, I know she's a villain, but she did this and this.
Yeah.
It's really good. And it's a good pick. It's a good read.
It is.
Which, now that I'm thinking about it, in this one, if Highfather's dead, and in Metal, Darkseid's a baby, something big must have happened, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's always like a constant thing. Like, well, the whole thing was like, I don't know, because like before the New 52, like Darkseid was in quotes dead.
Okay, I was like, why are we doing this?
Like quote unquote dead after Final Crisis and after the return of Bruce Wayne. But when the New 52 came about, he the Justice League, he's what brought the Justice League together, basically, in the New 52. So what happened in Rebirth, I don't know. I mean, I haven't read everything of Rebirth. Eventually I'll get to it, but so it's a bit weird in terms of like what's happening in Metal, but in Mr. Miracle, it's completely non-canon.
Well,
it's on its
I
own
hope
thing.
it is like canon, but this is the after. Whatever's going on in Metal is like a little bit before. And
I mean, okay. That's a little discussion that we can have. Not everything. Like, here's the thing. Not everything has to be canon. Like, I hate when everybody says, like, oh, but is it canon? Is it canon? Because I used to be that guy. And then eventually it became like, look, it's a good story. It can stand on its own.
Can you imagine, like in Metal, right? The whole Justice League's occupied whatever the hell is going. So all these comics, like action comics, there's no way Superman can deal with the bullshit he's dealing with.
Yeah, exactly.
And Metal.
Yeah.
And then like in Metal again, Flash is there. He's Flash.
Yeah.
And he's going through his negative shit. And I was like, there's no way every single comic can be one universe, one togetherness.
I mean, it is like that's the thing is like there's things like what's a good example? Let's just take what you said. Like everything is happening. Like Action is doing this, and then Flash is doing that. Okay. That's just kind of accepted. Like, that's been accepted for a long time. Like, this is, like, the things that they're doing when they're not with the Justice League, where it falls in, you don't know exactly.
Well, like the Metal stuff, you can tell it's a heavy Batman story, so all the Batman comics, that is their world.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you have Teen Titans, you have Nightwing, you have all these kind of be like, oh, okay, we gotta help Batman out. And I was hoping that the Green Lantern comics... and the Mr. Miracles and the one-shots with the gods were all going to be one big story. Yeah. And then the aftercare would be like a little bit of Metal. Yeah. Because they're dealing with some of the stuff with Metal. Yes. Like, it's there, but it's not centered.
It's completely there, yeah.
It's like not centered. It's like...
It kind of is. It kind of is, because it's...
But like
there's a reason being it.
This one, the whole Metal shit...
Let's not reference this.
But the thing is, I was hoping all this is just one big story. Yeah. Just... throwing in different pieces that when they finish the whatever God stuff, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, this is why Darkseid is a baby, and this is how Highfather died.
Yeah, but the thing, the whole thing is like they're so tonally different that I don't think they can be. You know what I mean? Because if you have the level of violence in the Green Lantern thing, then it throws off Green Lantern as a book. And if you have it as kind of clean as you do in there,
it can exist together. I mean, like Mr. Miracle is on Apocalypse. Yes. Hal Jordan has nothing to do with what's going on in Apocalypse. The gruesome, the blood, the fights and stuff. Yeah. This is happening to Mr. Miracle at the same time that Hal Jordan is dealing with the shit he's dealing with. Yes. So that can actually happen together. Okay. It's just like he's in Apocalypse. Gruesome hell shit is happening to him. Yeah. Hal Jordan has had to know nothing that happens to him. Yeah. But it could exist at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
Like take shit happens to you on your day. Shit happens to me in my day. We come to record. We kind of say, "Hey man, how's your day been?" You tell me your part. I tell you my part. Comes together. Yes. And at the end, then we have at the end we have this. Yeah. That's what I was kind of hoping.
Yeah. But it's not that can't happen just for the fact that that's a 12-issue miniseries, and this is gonna end
be
soon.
Forever.
You know, so
it's gonna be Green Lantern Hal Jordan.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this specific storyline. Just know that it's not in canon, but you don't need it to be in canon. It's just a good story.
It's a good story. It's fucking good, and you're gonna like that one scene, the gruesome scene. Yeah. You're gonna be like, ooh, I want more of that.
Yeah. All right.
But that was gonna be the random good stuff we tell you to read. We're gonna get to our pick of the weeks. First is gonna be Rome's pick of the week.
Yes, sir. That's Hal Jordan, The Green Lantern Corps, number 28. It's written by Rob Venditti and drawn by Rafa Sandoval. This is picking up pretty much right exactly where he left off. Hal Jordan has to basically catch up to Light Ray, because Light Ray is carrying the High Father. So the High Father's not dead here. So he's carrying All Father. The thing is, they're being chased by an Omega Beam.
From the dudes from Metal.
No.
I thought there was a dude from the Metal.
No. They're not tied in.
What?
They're not tied in yet.
No, I mean the beams. I thought it was from the big golem robot they were fighting on the other issue.
Yeah, but it's that those aren't in Metal.
Oh, okay, that was just the metal that.
Yeah, they're the Nith metal.
Yeah,
machines,
there's a lot of metal thrown out there. It's not tied into metal, but it has something.
Everything has Nith right now.
Yeah.
Everything has Nith metal. Yeah. The thing is, they're not tied in right now. I think it does have a tie-in later on in the month, or later on in the year at least. But when it comes to this, they're fighting those big Nith metal machines that look like
golems. The Nith golems.
Nith golems. There you go, and they look like the Celestials from the Marvel characters. The thing is, they shot out the Omega beams, and it's chasing them. Yeah, the
Omega beams do not stop until they reach their target.
Yeah,
and until the target's dead. They know if it's not dead.
Yeah.
Which was interesting as fuck. Like,
how do you get that? That was like in last comic where they did that. But the thing with this one, and the reason why this is my my pick of the week, is it has a lot of like just heartfelt things in here. Like Metal was gonna be my pick of the week just because of like the scope of it and what I like about it, like everything that's going on.
Plus, you're a big Batman dude.
Plus, I'm a big Batman dude. But the thing is,
you're a bigger Hal Jordan Green Lantern dude.
I'm a bigger Green Lantern dude.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know why. I just like science fiction shit. I'm a nerd like that. But the thing is, it had a very big heart in this one.
It didn't.
It did. Like the whole thing is like he's. Hal Jordan's in, and spoilers because I don't know how many of you are going to read it, and I want you to read it, so I'm going to explain some things.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, okay, so he's chasing after Light Ray, and he's pushing his will as far as he can, and it gives him a warning, like, you're going to fail, this is going to fail, you might die because you don't have enough willpower, the ring is saying. And then he hears somebody, and then he's like,
"Well, he's in the plane. He's in a two-seater plane. He's a brand thing. Yeah. He's chasing Light Ray. Light Ray in a plane because he's a pilot.
Yeah, of course.
And it's a two-seater plane. I never understood that because you can make it a one-seater plane, like a jet, but he's in a two-seater plane.
I think it's just
his way.
The thing is, he hears something, he turns around, and it's his dad. He's like, what the fuck is going on? How am I talking to you, Dad?
He thinks he's breaking.
Yeah, he thinks he's going crazy.
Yeah.
But then his dad says, like, you're chasing a god down. Like, you're in the midst of cosmic dust, traveling with a god. What, like, this can't be real either?
Before his dad explains everything, he's talking to John Stewart. Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, there's an energy around here that's breaking our communication.
Yeah.
Don't know what that energy is.
Yeah.
Something, that same energy is the one that brought his dad's, what's it called, ghosts?
Spirit.
Yeah, spirit.
So, yeah, it brought a spirit back, and they basically have a talk, the talk that he wished he always had. Yep. He tells him, like, did you ever feel fear when you died? And he's like, no, I didn't. The last thing I remember was looking at the picture of you on there, and he's talking about, like, hey, look, you have this.
Oh, yeah, they were talking about the similarities that each other have, because he has a picture of his dad.
Yeah.
And his dad had a picture of him.
Yeah. So, yeah, it just...
It has heart.
Yeah.
It has a lot of heart. And if you're a Green Lantern Hal Jordan fan, you're going to love this, because you go deeper into his
The psyche.
Yeah, he's like subconscious.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's just like that got me right there. Like that won me over all the comics, just because it's something different but familiar. Because he's always talking about his dad and like how he's the reason why he's a fighter pilot and how he's overcome fear, blah blah blah.
Which is pretty cool because they go into deeper explanation of why he's a fighter pilot.
Yes,
because he's always said, "I fight planes because of my dad."
Yeah.
He goes into more into detail in this comic of, but why?
Yeah, and the dad explains
great.
Like basically like you have the gene, like you're my kid, like somebody is gonna have this and you were the one to have it. So
yeah, I forgot he had brothers.
Yeah, exactly. He has 2 brothers. I think he might have a sister. I'm not too sure, but I think it's 2 brothers. The thing is, it's just really heartfelt, and anytime that you can make me feel something like that in a comic, you're always gonna win. Like,
yeah, it's good. It's good, guys.
And that's the thing with Green Lantern, is it always has those type of moments, and you never had this moment specifically where he's able to talk to his father. Now, is it really his father, or is it his subconscious trying to talk things through? You don't know, but it doesn't matter, because in the end, he's able to do what he has to do.
Plus, you get to know Hal Jordan a little bit more. For other people that starting to read comics, and Hal Jordan is one of those that he kind of had his own thing, or they introduced too many lanterns, and you started liking those lanterns, so he got kind of lost in the puddle that is the Human Lanterns.
Yeah, it's just
this
like
one,
reference.
You get to know him a little bit better.
Yeah,
like if you want to be like, oh, who's Hal Jordan? This comic's good to read for that.
Yeah.
Plus, I like the I like that final one where he's talking to High Father. He's like, you held that for me.
Yeah.
It's like, who are you?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, fucking God and shit. He's like,
yeah, exactly. That's Hal Jordan, spit in the face of authority.
Well, pick it up, guys. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's a good way to relax your mind and have a good heart. It's like the reason you watch Disney movies.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing. And but you know how I relax? Violence.
All right.
Action and punches.
Yeah, and it is Venomverse 2, Colin Bunn, written by Colin Bunn, and drawn by Ivan Coelho.
Alright, so this is my pick of the week.
Yes.
I read it. I finished reading it. I actually read it twice before I handed it up to him. I go, yep, there's no way this is not going to be my pick of the week. If you guys read issue 1 of Venomverse, at the end of the thing, you find out that Peter Parker got taken over by whatever the aliens are being called. I forgot. But the dudes there is hunting them down.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, the little fucking cute little things.
Yeah.
All right, so he gets taken over. And this comic, this is what eventually is Peter Parker fighting the Venoms, but mostly focused on Eddie Brock. And what I like this, because other than being action packed and you're seeing all these symbiotes and according to the host they have, and you have Deadpool Venom do whatever fucking Deadpool Venom does. Well, the reason it's my pick of the week, other than all that beautiful art and action shit, is that they finally got a way to tell the hero, to let the hero speak to the villain the way they wanted to.
Okay.
Because usually when you're a hero, you have this code you can't break, or you have these feelings you can't say. Because then suddenly once I go down that path, there's no way you can come back. Yeah. So the host has taken over Peter Parker. He has subconscious, has his memory, and he's talking to Eddie Brock. Yeah. He's like, that he's the only one. He's like, Peter Parker always wanted to kill you. You're that one villain he wished he killed. And just those conversations he's going, because they're fighting, but he's like poking at Eddie Brock, telling him truth that he kind of knows. Because what people don't know is that Eddie Brock is still struggling between being good and bad. Yeah. And I like this. It's like fucking with his psyche, trying to break him. Yeah. And he's like, why you fighting? And Spider-Man's like, why you fighting me? You never ever beat Spider-Man. Yeah. Why do you think now that he's stronger, you think you're gonna be able to stop him? Yeah. And he's like, that I wish I could have killed you. He wishes he could have killed you. And he's almost like, you're Spider-Man, so And he's telling him, good, and all this shit. And I was like, reading this is like, dude, if you ever fucking gave me Spider-Man that talks like that to his villains, I would read every single Spider-Man comic.
Man, you can read Superior Spider-Man. It's sort of the same thing.
But it's not Peter Parker isn't Superior Spider-Man.
It's Doc Ock and Peter Parker's body.
It's the same. It's just,
But I mean,
but when Doc Ock talks, he still tries to sell that whole "I'm Spider-Man." You hear his inner monologue.
yeah.
That's the villain. That's the Doc part.
Yeah, but
when
you didn't read all the way through. You have to read Superior Spider-Man all the way through, and you'll see like a
he
change.
starts changing.
Yeah, you'll see like a different like what's going on in his actual mind. Or
I
whatever.
love this, man. The art was amazing. The fight scenes are great. But I like that. I like that shit talking, provoking. The hero's actually provoking the villain the way the villain's supposed to provoke. And it's Spider-Man. He even says in the comics, like, damn, Peter Parker never shut up in my world. He never shut up now.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that he's just like, shit talking. He's like, dude, just shut up and fight. He's like, nah, we just keep giving. Because you guys don't know, I'm a big shit talker. That's what I do with my brothers. That's what I do as a family, Mexican culture.
So you're Spider-Man?
I'm Spider-Man with a symbiote taken over by an ape.
I guess.
That's weird, but I liked it. That's the reason I picked the pick of the week. Because it has everything I like, plus a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, plus you like Venom and you want to see Venom fight Spider-Man. Fucking badass. And the fucking Deadpool Venom doing dumb shit.
Yeah, it's an action comic. I mean, for me, I didn't find as much like in it that you did. But I mean, we have different tastes. Yeah. The thing is, it's not a bad comic. It's just an action comic. That's all it really is.
Yes.
There's not a as of yet. They fill out things that you need to know, so that it's not all action, because you can't have an all action comic book, because then it's just like a 2-minute read and everybody gets pissed off at that.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, they start explaining things, but it's still it's weird. It's simultaneously moving forward and not doing anything at all, because like the end,
you're like, okay,
with who they capture.
I totally forgot the bad guy, the main puppet master. Your guy's gonna fucking love.
As soon as I saw the little, if you look at the panel, you know, the little corner, the color that was there, I knew exactly who it was. And it's just like, okay, that's fine, but I want to know what the hell's going on, where he got, why is he pulling the strings?
Yeah,
what's going on
at the end of the comic, they leave you with so many questions.
Yeah.
Deadpool, Venom has a lot to do with things.
Yeah.
And then they introduce the main puppet master. And why is he in control, and why are all these things actually listening to him?
Yeah.
And then you have these heroes going, damn, we're struggling fighting one of them.
Yeah.
Imagine an army of them.
Yeah.
And then one of their ranks gets taken over. One big piece, too.
Yeah.
That's making the core group fall apart.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, I can't believe they took him.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? Good. It's good. Like I said, I forgot to explain all the good details of it, punches and sweat.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's good. It's good, guys. It's a good story.
It's an action comic that, it moves things forward, but pretty much stays stagnant in where it is. But that's
gonna be the floppies for this week.
Yep.
And we're gonna get to our trade bag. I know it's running pretty long because there's a lot of comics.
Yes.
But real quick, this is
Swamp Thing. This is Alan Moore's run on Swamp Thing. Now, I did a little research because me and Tony were arguing about this a little bit. We were having a discussion about this.
When we try to give you guys trade backs, it's something we both read, so we have contribute thoughts about it. You don't want us just to be like, yeah. So I was thinking of New 52 Swamp Thing.
Yes. You were thinking about the New 52 Swamp Thing.
Yeah. I've read this, but it's been a while. Because if you guys don't know, this is an iconic must-read trade bag. It's one of those things that kind of brought monsters back to DC.
Yeah.
It's shining light on Alan Moore a little bit more, because before this, he had written Mr. Miracle.
He had written Mr. Miracle in the
Which
UK.
is not this Mr. Miracle.
No, it's not Mr. Miracle. It's Miracle Man.
Oh, Miracle Man. Yeah, sorry.
Alan Moore, prolific writer. It's kind of like a set DC apart from everybody else in terms of writing. The thing is, it's strange how he got onto the title, and I won't go too much into detail, but basically this was kind of a rundown of things, because I didn't know when it actually fell in. I knew it was mid-'80s, I just didn't know when.
We were discussing it.
Yeah.
Because he had started V for Vendetta.
Yeah, The thing is that V for Vendetta was part of Warrior magazine. That's where he started Miracle Man in the UK, as well as V for Vendetta. So this was like 1982, 1985 was all this kind of stuff. Then they had the big fallout where they were reprinting the Miracle Man. They got sued by Marvel. All this kind of stuff started happening. So he went over to DC, basically, and started doing what they were doing there. Watchmen came out in 86. V for Vendetta, when they did the Vertigo line, when they did that, was 88. But Swamp Thing actually was 1984. So technically,
Before
V for
Watchmen.
technically, it's V for Vendetta, then Swamp Thing, then Watchmen. But the way that DC has it is it's Swamp Thing, Watchmen, then V for Vendetta.
And then Miracle Man.
Yeah, Miracle Man's way, but that's Marvel. Like Marvel now owns that. But the thing is with this is, this pretty much started that kind of a churn in which they viewed comics, and how DC started like, hey, we should do a Vertigo line where it's more adult content, because this deals with a bunch of different topics.
It does.
Yeah, it deals with like hell, it deals with cheating, it deals with rape, it deals with all these kinds of things.
All these
murder,
adult content.
like, all this kind of stuff. The thing is, and these ones, there's 6 of them. 6 of these trade backs. This is the first one. They may have done it where they put it into 3 now. DC is pretty big on that.
The whole big men's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They put 2 trade backs together and re-release it. The thing is, this actually started with everybody knows issue 21 for Alan Moore's Swamp Thing.
It's when he's talking himself?
It's the anatomy lesson. It's what teaches you what a Swamp Thing actually is.
Yes.
The thing is, he had written one that nobody really remembered before that, which was issue 20, which was actually wrapping up another writer's.
Oh yeah, okay. If you guys don't know, Swamp Thing's dying. The name, the monster, not in the comics, but like they're gonna stop. They're gonna cancel this comic.
Yeah.
And that's why it's funny, because it starts off issue 20.
Yeah.
Like before of it, it was just whatever writing and shit. It was Swamp Thing. It was a monster book. It was like one of those Halloween. They treat it like a Halloween creature.
Yeah, it was just like a gag monster. The thing is,
but the issue 20, people don't know about it, but it's one of those things that DC kind of puts under the rug.
Puts under the rug, yeah.
And then designed to issue 21, where they're like, where is he taking this?
Yeah.
And it stops being just that cartoony monster book, and it gets dark, greedy, and it goes in depth into Swamp Thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it turns a different light, because everybody knows that Alec Holland,
yes,
is Swamp Thing.
Yeah, everybody's like,
everybody's doing that. It's like, this dude is Swamp Thing. There's like, if he could, you took off the whole thing, and there's be
a human, right?
But the way he wrote it, it's all about the green.
Yeah.
It's all about the plant life. And that's the anatomy one, where he's like, Swamp Thing's not human.
Yeah.
He's not even close to being human.
Yeah.
It was like a form of life that consumed Alec Holland.
Like the whole thing with Alec Holland is he's a botanist, and he's trying to make like a formula so he can make things grow in deserts, basically. Things where, trying to grow where you can't grow plant life. The thing is, some thugs, maybe hired by someone else, what have you, come in there and pretty much firebomb his whole thing. Alec Holland is on fire and runs into the swamp. There he dies, and then what happens is there's this like smart moss that the green is controlling, basically, and these caterpillars and things like that eat him, and it becomes Swamp Thing. Like that was like the
before people thought that he jumped into the swamp, and because of all the chemicals and shit, he became Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Because the movie is like
exactly that. Yeah.
The movie was like that. The movie was like,
it was kind of terrible.
For the 80s, it was
yeah.
But everybody thought he is Alec Holland. He wrote it where it isn't.
Yeah.
The green is smart. It consumed him, which was weird, because it fucking flesh eating things.
Yeah.
And it took his subconscious.
Yes.
So he could have that whole humanity thing.
Yeah, and that's why he like remembers. And that's why you're remembering he kind of has like these.
He had the whole Shakespearean.
Yeah,
thing.
he has this Hamlet kind of like issue where he's just talking to a skull and he's like, the skull's talking back to him. He's talking back to it. What am I? Blah blah blah. And that's where you figure it out. The thing is, like, the first villain that that Alan Moore writes into this, like, truly is the Floronic Man,
which was Platman before he got sent to go get something.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing is like he's able to like control things, and he takes a whole town hostage basically by like supercharging the oxygen. And if like it's one spark, like the whole thing will blow up. It'll be like an atom bomb, and it's just really cool. Like the idea that the Floronic Man is like, yeah, like I have power that I didn't realize, and now I can just hold everything hostage. Oh, fucking Swamp Thing don't take hand, that starts fucking shit up.
Yo,
you know what I mean? So the thing is, and then like the Justice League come in. That's the thing is like this started off as a DC kind of like Sandman, where it started off as DC. And then, like, after a while, it became its own thing.
It's like it's too grown up.
Yeah.
Let's get out of DC main titles.
Exactly.
We'll give you your own place.
Exactly.
Just so... Because it was like, it's so good, we don't want to change it.
Oh, yeah. This was one of
DC's best. But it's not meant for little kids that go Master Comics.
Exactly.
So if you give it a company and a placing, they know, okay, parents know, they shouldn't be, your little 5-year-old shouldn't be vertical because you're going to have questions you don't want to answer.
Exactly. And, yeah, I mean...
Plus, it gets... In general, you guys should just pick this up. You guys want to know Swamp Thing.
Yes.
The new Swamp Thing, too.
One of my favorite characters.
This started it all. Because it went from a human transforming to this creature and just being a monster that guards the swamp to finding out that he is a different entity. Yeah. And he does so much more.
And the thing is, like, it's written by... a person that just passed away, was created by Len Wein. Len Wein just passed away. He's the creator of Swamp Thing. And he did the first 20 issues. He created the character in House of Mystery, and then... or House of Secrets. Either House of Secrets or House of Mystery. I don't remember exactly. But he creates it. They make a 20-issue series, and then it's canceled. And then they're like, okay, we'll bring it back. They bring it back, and then it starts off good. And because I believe the first few issues are written by Len Wein.
Yeah, it was.
And then it gets taken over by a second writer, which is what starts the downfall until they're like, well, like Alan Moore is just like, I think I have an idea for Swamp Thing, and he's like, sure, it's gonna get canceled anyway. Go for it. It's a win-win for us. Either we cancel it, we save money, or you bring it up and somehow...
Which probably, that's why they go do whatever you want.
Exactly.
Because it was a dying comic. It's like, no, you know what? We're not going to red tape it. We're not doing anything. Do whatever you want. And that freedom gave you greatness.
Exactly. I believe that you should just...
But it was a totally different style, because Swamp Thing, when I was growing up, is a monster character. Yeah. It's almost like the creature from the Black Lagoon style, or the Toxic Avenger. But he made it more humanized by separating it from its human host.
Yeah, and these are dense comics. Like, if you don't like a lot of reading, like this guy over here, if you don't like a lot of flourish, kind of poetic terms and things like that, if you're not into that, don't get it, but I would still suggest you at least give it a try, because
the story,
there's so much in there that I think you'll latch on to.
Yeah, the story might be wordy and shit, but it consumes you.
Yes.
Where you're like, okay,
very much.
If you're like with wordy stuff, you would read a couple pages a day and be like, I want more. I want until you finally go, I finished the whole trade back.
Yep.
Yeah,
and if I could, I'd get the singles because I like this so much.
But that is gonna be the floppies and trade back. I hope you guys pick it up.
Yes.
And you should tell us. You should tell us in the comments. What do you pick up? Yeah. What do you think we should be reading? Try to sell us a trade bag. Yeah. And we'll shout you out if you want. I don't care.
Yeah. if you think I'm wrong about Venomverse, go ahead and let me know. I think it was okay.
Yeah. If you guys thought that Hal Jordan was hell of heart, let us know.
Yeah, let us know anything. just let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe over here.
Yep. You can always follow all social media. We do have Instagram, Twitter. We have Facebook. It's all Grimworks. Just search it. We'll be there. And of course, YouTube. YouTube. We put everything. We put our podcast. We put all our videos, all our shenanigans. Usually go on YouTube and Facebook. So if you want to be part of the conversation, you want to just know what we're doing, go ahead and give us a follow. Just look for Grimworks.
Yes, and if you could also let us know in the comments how you like this, because we got some new equipment. As you can see, everything's maybe a little more clear. You can see our ugly mugs a little bit better.
Ain't no more hiding the ugly behind bad lighting.
But yeah, just let us know in the comments below that we're doing.
We're trying to improvise everything, improve everything that we're trying to bring out. And I know these things tend to go a bit longer, so we're trying to find that perfect where we're not selling out and just going, oh, this is, while giving you guys be like, okay, this is a long video, can't sit through all this.
Yeah, I never want to like,
because there's some videos I see stuff on YouTube be like, it's like 7 minutes long. They talk about like 8 comics, but they just go read it. Yeah, it's written by this dude. Yeah. It's drawn by that. But they don't give you why you read it. Yeah, and this is the one thing I like. I like explaining the stuff that why we like it. Yeah. And like since we have different tastes, you kind of see the whole picture. Yeah. Like if I could go and talk just fight scenes, that would be kind of boring. You'd be like, oh, he's gonna just choose another beat 'em up.
Yeah, exactly.
He likes the deep stuff. He likes the universe. He likes the whole. I could just give me blood. Yeah. So you give you a little bit of both. Exactly. But I know people come into a little bit long. We're gonna try to make them shorter. Yeah. There's some weeks that like this week that we streaming comics. Yeah. And there was like other weeks we're like trying to fucking stretch out to cover what we had. Yeah. But before we get into the new releases for tomorrow, we want to shout out to our sponsor. Oh yeah, guys. Come on, look at this. This looks fucking sexy as fuck.
It has the classic controller condom, as we like to call it.
And we have some little pro grips that make it better when you're playing Destiny. Yeah. Or shit, tomorrow comes out Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah, if you're a Marvel fiend.
Yeah, look at that. You get better hold. You feels better, sits better. And you could help us out. Yes. Go down to faygrips.store.
Yes, sir.
And whenever you're purchasing something, there's a little thing where it goes, do you have a code? And we have a code.
That's right. You can go to faygrips.com and get your own controller condoms or joystick control
pads.
Control pads. Or joystick what is it? I want to get it correctly. It's thumbstick I think it's like thumbstick pads. Yeah. I don't know. We don't know. But either way, go to fadegrips.store and use a promotional code Grimworks. That's capital GRIMMWORKS.
And you're going to save 20%, guys.
20.
Shit, that covers taxes and shipping.
Yep.
And I mean, the stuff is not expensive and it's really good. It's durable. I have nieces and nephews, they throw this shit, they bang your shit, they spill shit on it, and it's still rocking.
And I don't need controller condoms because I don't have kids around, but I do use their glow thumbsticks.
That was cool because you turn off the light and it just...
Yeah, he's like, I'm always in the dark when I play video games, so I always see it, I know where my control's at, and just go ahead and buy it and help us out.
Yep. So you go, again, faygrips.store. Tell them Grimworks sent you, save yourself that 20% discount. And if you just want to talk to us, you can always go into our email, cdpod88@gmail.com. Just put comics and you get to talk to us about anything comic related.
Yeah, if you're catching up on any of our past issues, just go ahead and let us know.
All right, and this is tomorrow's comics.
Alright, so for tomorrow, starting off with Marvel as we do, all new Guardians of the Galaxy number 10, Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows number 11, America number 7, Avengers number 11, Doctor Strange number 25, Generations Captain Marvel, and Ms. Marvel number 1.
Don't let it confuse you, because last week it was Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel. This is introducing the new Ms. Marvel, the young girl.
Yeah, I believe she's Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up.
John remembers it.
Yeah, it started really good. I remember issue 1 started really good.
Yeah. But you also have a second printing of Generations Unworthy Thor and Mighty Thor number 1, Invincible Iron Man number 11, Jean Grey number 7, Journey to the Journey to Star Wars, Last Jedi, Captain Phasma number 2.
Ooh, that was a fucking mouthful.
Yeah. Luke Cage number 5, Marvel Legacy Preview Spotlight, Monsters Unleashed number 6, Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man number 4, Royals number 8, Secret Empire number 7, Spider-Man 2 number 3, Star Wars Annual number 3, Star Wars Poe Dameron number 19, Totally Awesome Hulk number 22, which is a second printing, Totally Awesome Hulk number 23, US Avengers number 10, Venom 154, which is a tie-in, you're going to want to get that, and Venomverse number 3, so it looks like it's a weekly series. It's cool. And X-Men Gold number 12 to round out Marvel's list.
Now let's get down to some DC.
I had to take a little drink of water because my mouth was running dry. DC, Aquaman number 28, which we highly recommend. Batman number 31, which, let's see, War of Jokes and Riddles, so no.
Oh, so that's still going on?
That is still going on.
Right.
Batman Day 2017 special, which is written by Tom King. Oh, cool, it has a little Batman Returns type cover.
One shot?
It looks like it. Batman the Red Death number 1. In the events of Dark Knight's Metal rock the DC universe, the creatures of the Dark Multiverse stand ready to invade our world.
So it seems like a metal tie-in?
Yeah, it looks like a metal tie-in. Looks like a one-shot, really. Okay, and then there's Batwoman number 7, Fear and Loathing Part 1. Okay, so that's dealing with some other stuff there. Bug, The Adventures of Forager number 4, Cave Carlson Has a Cybernetic Eye number 12, DC Superhero Girls Batman Day 2017
So I'm guessing Batman Day is sometime soon?
I believe so. Yeah, it has to be. Future Quest Showcase number 2, Green Arrow number 31, which is that a tie-in? That is not a tie-in to metal. Green Lantern number 31. Harley Quinn number 28, which I don't believe is a tie-in either.
What's Green Lantern up to?
Green Lantern 31, let's see. Out of Time finale. Simon Baz stands alone against Volthoom, the first and most powerful lantern. It's a battle of courage and will that changes both Baz and Volthoom forever.
Is that the tie-in to the Justice League stuff?
No, it is not. But we also have Harley Quinn Batman Day 2017 special. Injustice 2 number 10. Justice League number 29, which is the kids storyline that we have been following. Nightwing number 29, which is a tie-in as well, so I'm glad to get that. Super Sons number 8, Superman number 31, which, where is that? Okay, it's a Lex Luthor thing. Trinity number 13, Wildstorm number 7, which I was interested because it's Warren Ellis writing that, so that's weird. And Wonder Woman Conan number 1.
Might pick that up. Yep. Conan action. Alright, now we're going to get into the indie stuff. And what we do with the indie stuff, because everybody and their mother writes comics now, we're not going to tell you to buy the crappy stuff. So Roman used to work at a comic shop, so he kind of knows what people read. Plus, you know, we're in the comic stuff, so we kind of know what's out there. We're going to give you our list of what you should pick up for the indies.
Yeah. And it's a short list. I narrowed down a lot because there's a lot of stuff that I wouldn't read and I would not recommend. But Big Trouble in Little Chinatown, Old Man Jack number 1.
Yeah.
I put that on because I love Big Trouble in Little Chinatown.
That's one of the best stuff coming out of late 80s, early 90s.
I believe it's like 87.
Right.
Yeah, I'll double check that a bit. But Black Hammer number 13, Jeff.
Black Hammer is really good.
Yeah.
You guys haven't read it.
Bloodshot Salvation number 1, which is part of the Valiant stuff. So another good thing there. Dark Arc number 1. Descender number 24. Gasolina number 1. I have no idea what that was about. You want me to read the synopsis? Let's see.
Who's writing it? What companies are coming under?
Well, let's see. Will it show me the actual company? Skybound. So it's
truly indie.
It's indie. No, it's Image. Skybound is Robert Kirkman's label within Image.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's Gasolina number 1. New series: fugitives, rebels, newlyweds, and their journey south from El Norte. Amelia and Randy have played many roles in order to survive. Now they must become unlikely leaders in the fight against a new cartel who use inhuman tactics to ignite the most monstrous war Mexico and the world have ever seen.
Wow.
Everything burns in this new series from Sean McKeswick and Nico Walter, where love and devotion can only be measured in fire and blood.
That sounds really good because I'm Hispanic and Mexican as fuck. I didn't think they were going to give me a comic about the cartel. I'm glad you picked that up.
Yeah, that's why I put it on there. It sounded interesting. Invincible number 140. Killer Instinct number 1.
I don't know about that one.
I like Killer Instinct. So
I picked up the Tekken stuff and it was eh.
Yeah.
It's good. The Street Fighter shit and the Dark Striker stuff, but it was eh.
I mean, Killer Instinct is one of my favorite fighting games.
It does have a really good story.
It does.
So
it's a little more linear than some of the other ones we've seen. But to round out the list, it's Violent Love number 8 and Wonder Woman 77 meets Bionic Woman number 6.
Alright guys, that's going to be your comics for tomorrow. And again, if you guys want to join the conversation or you just want to comment out, just go down to comics on YouTube. Let us know. We like hearing from whoever's actually watching.
Yeah.
But for now, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
Laters.